Hi, welcome to day 5 of the 30-day Life Recovery Challenge. I'm Allison Murphy, and I'm here to talk today to you about how to express uncomfortable feelings like anger. And so before we jump right into that, I would like to tell you that we know today that anger is not a primary emotion. We feel it, don't get me wrong, and it's on our feelings wheel. There's something underneath, however, anger. And in our culture, we've been taught to not express sadness and fear for the most part, in my experience. And so it's much easier in our culture to express anger. And this may even be more appropriate depending on the gender that you are. Women are also taught not to express anger either. Again, in my experience, not everybody. There are a lot of people out there who grew up with parents who taught them how to process their feelings. And so I'm speaking to the population that wants to feel really good about the decisions they make and wants to live a healthy lifestyle, mentally, physically, socially, spiritually. So with that said, we've gotten very early messages that expressing uncomfortable emotions just doesn't cut it. We can't do that. So we hold it in. And then, unfortunately, our bodies will tell the truth and make us sick. And so let's go through a scenario about anger. Again, if you're really clear on what it is you're feeling, you might be able to go right to the deeper emotion and say, you know what, it's not anger, it's really sadness that I feel, or it's fear. I'm really afraid. You know, that happens a lot with children who are, we know children who bully other children are really fearful inside. And so let's take a look at this today. Let's say that there's a situation that made you really sad. Let's say that you were on your social media account and you realize that a person that you're close to that you thought was your friend had a party and didn't invite you. Now, this may cause a lot of emotions. It would, first of all, probably be confusing at first, like what? So confusion is part of it. And then you might get angry. And then you might become, if you don't express the anger, you might become resentful or bitter about that person. And that's a place that we don't want to go to. And if we do go there, we go there. But today it is a new way. Today's episode is a new way to show you how to deal with not having to go to those places that really don't work for us. So what I would suggest is that before we go and talk to this person, we check in with ourselves and we get very quiet. You know, we normally do our relaxation, which I do recommend you doing if you feel that you need to speak to somebody about your anger. It's yours, it's not theirs. They don't make you angry. They don't make you sad. These emotions that come up for us are ours only, and they are based upon past experiences that we have not healed yet. So this is the wonderful thing / awful thing about the universe, is that if we don't heal it, the universe, God, nature, whatever you believe in, will bring it up to you again. It's 100% guaranteed, until we learn how to authentically and truthfully deal with our lives. So I recommend that you, instead of on the fly when you see this person, once you do decide to confront someone or talk to them, we don't want to come across as aggressive, that you make an appointment with them. And not necessarily do it on the fly. So if you bump into them, maybe it's a coworker, maybe it's someone that you're actually seeing physically in front of you. Instead of saying something to them in that very moment, you might want to make an appointment and say, hey, do you have some time to talk to me later? There's something I'd like to check in with you on. Can I talk to you at 4 o'clock? Can I call you then? Please consider not texting this or emailing it, but having a live conversation works really well. It's frightening. Can be frightening if this is brand new for you and you've never done it before. It's scary. So there's another emotion that you can access inside your physical body and work on before you actually talk to the person. So if you are scared and you're confused as to what to say, do some really strong self-care. And for me, it's usually something physical. So I might get on my bike, I might do some yoga, I might do some relaxation to get very, very quiet and just see what comes up for me. When I see what comes up for me, that's the truth for me. And it took me a very, very long time to get here. It's a lot of practice and practice and practice and practice, but it's not impossible. And it's so worth it because you open your life up to living the truth, and that's what freedom is. And you feel really good. You feel powerful. You feel like you are able, no matter what goes on around you, you're able to say, whatever comes along, I know I'm okay. I know I'm enough. And that's my wish for this entire planet. So let's say that I did all my self-care and I've got my appointment at 4 o'clock on the phone with who I thought was my friend. And I get on the phone and I say something that is only about me. I'd like you to consider, strongly, strongly consider, keeping it in the I, meaning I don't talk about the other person's behavior. I only talk about how I feel. I do have to reference the situation, but I'm not blaming anyone else. I'm not attacking anyone else. Quite often if I come at it and say, you always, or you never invite me to anything, or I saw that social media post and you had a party and you didn't invite me, and it could really snowball into something that feels a little out of control and cause you to feel regret. So a really good technique is to go in with an I statement. So I would say, hey, I'm so glad we had a chance to connect. I wanted to let you know how I felt about something that I saw online. And that was that I saw that you had a party and I wasn't invited, and it made me feel really sad to find out that you had a party and I wasn't invited. And if you're talking to someone who is emotionally available for you and emotionally mature, that person will allow you to be sad. It's your experience. It has nothing to do, your sadness doesn't have anything to do with them. So take that in. That might sound counterintuitive, but we'll get to that in later videos. So because I'm sad, I've just had an opportunity to expel it out of my body. It physically can come out of my body, and it feels really powerful to be able to tell someone else, I feel sad when I see that you had a party and I wasn't invited. Are you willing to talk a little bit about that with me now? The other option, the other response that you may get from them, if they're not emotionally available for you, is that they will go to a defense. And people do this because they clearly feel uncomfortable and want to fix it right away. And so they'll defend themselves. And so that is a place that you can't control. Whatever response you get from this person, that has nothing to do with you. That is not your business. What your business is to clearly express yourself, let the person know how you feel, and whatever they do with that information, they do with that information. That's knowledge for you to move forward in your own life. So we're going to talk more about this as we move forward in our 30-day challenge. If you'd like help coaching with any of the techniques that I'm bringing up here, I've got 30 plus years experience behind me. I'm willing to help you. You can email me at findingbalancetogether@gmail.com. So I look forward to our next episode, which will be boundary building. Thanks for watching and take great care.